everyone, and welcome to Live in the Solution. These are your readings for February the 26th through March the 4th. And first of all, I want to give a little astrological report on what's going on, because there's a lot going on this week. And I will put in the show more section below the timeline that you can skip the astrological report if you are checking out your sun, moon and rising, because these are for your sun, moon and rising also. Thank you guys for all the wonderful comments, for liking my videos, for sharing them, and for subscribing. And please, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I have also created a Patreon page, and if you would like to show a little love, you know, please patronize me on Patreon. People say, don't patronize me. Please patronize me. The link to Patreon is in the show more section below. I welcome constructive criticism. I just kind of did it today. It was, or yesterday, I should say. So I've kind of, you know, trying to get my head around all this technical stuff, and you know, it is what it is anyway. So I would really appreciate it if you check out my Patreon page. So without further ado, let's go to the astrological happenings and transits this week. Now we have on the 1st, we have a full moon in Virgo. Now Virgo is the opposite sign of Pisces, and Pisces is dreamy, watery, go with the flow, spiritual, yeah, whatever, you know. And Virgo is practical. It's an earth sign. It's, you know, a perfectionist, analytical, you know, has to get things right. Now, this is happening, I normally don't mention the degrees, but this is happening at 11 degrees and 22 minutes. 2 power numbers. So that's kind of exciting. So it means it's a very powerful full moon. We're going to feel kind of emotional and possibly self-critical or criticizing others. We need to be aware of this. We need to be aware of our internal dialogue. We need to be aware of how we need to be kind. So we've got to put kindness and compassion in front this week. And it's really important to keep our focus on what we have accomplished as opposed to what we haven't, and how we've done our best. And if we are going to criticize, we need to do it in constructive criticism. Like I take constructive criticism, I welcome it. I can have growth through constructive criticism. I don't take that personal, but when it's unkind, and of course, that hurts my feelings if it's unkind. So I'm very fortunate that I get lovely comments. Occasionally, I'll get one or two that are unkind, and I just send them off with love. Because what you put out, you know, you get back sometimes. So I have to be mindful to be constructively critical about myself, because we can also, when we're constructively critical with ourselves, it's kind of personal growth, isn't it? It's looking at where we need to improve. That's constructive criticism, but it's not, you know, like you're no good and you can't do this and why do you bother, and you know, you're useless, and you know, those kind of thoughts are not helpful. So we have to really be aware of our internal dialogue and how we're treating others. We all want to be treated with kindness and compassion, don't we? So that's what we need to do. We need to do with others. Now, at the time of this full moon, around the time of this full moon, we also have Mercury in a positive aspect to Jupiter, which means, you know, Mercury is about the intellect, Jupiter is about expansion. So it means, you know, brilliant ideas, innovative, creative ideas. And I always feel that we get that when we go inside and we meditate. So that's a brilliant, wonderful opportunity to meditate and get these wonderful, incredible, creative ideas and how to move forward with our lives. Now, we have, of course, we have the sun in Pisces. and right next to Neptune. And the sun is about identity. Neptune is about, spirituality, angels, guides. It's a wonderful time to connect with your spirit guides and angels and really connect spiritually, and really identify what your belief system is. This is a wonderful time to explore that. Incredible creative meditative meditations are possible at this time. Now, Mercury and Venus are conjunct with Jupiter in Scorpio, right? Mercury and Venus in Pisces are conjunct with Jupiter in Scorpio. So we've got Jupiter in play a lot. This is expansion. So it's very, very important to keep our thoughts and positive and optimistic, and because we can go down the spiral in the other way, right? Whatever we focus on expands at this time. So it's really, really important to really look at how we're thinking and what we're projecting out into the world. It's a wonderful time. That aspect creates this wonderful kind of spiritual conversations. It's about being receptive. It's feminine energy. It's receptivity and it's healing, deeply healing. So when we can have these philosophical, incredible spiritual conversations, and it's a very healing energy that's coming in. It's about having trust and faith in divine timing. It's about being patient, because we could have this tendency to be a little irritated next week. If we are aware of that, we can sit back, take a breath, and just, you don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know what feelings they're processing and so it's about being patient, it's about being kind, and it's about stepping back and being in Pisces energy. Okay, let's go with the flow. You don't have to beat the horn. You don't have to, shout at someone. You don't have to, put yourself in that anger. Now, Venus and Mercury connect with Chiron, right? And Chiron's the healing wound, the wounded healer, the healing wounded, the wounded healer. This is a perfect time for healing and personal growth, and it's a positive healing energy. So this week, I think, is a wonderful week when we're aware of the shadow side of things, so that we can keep it on the positive. We can, connect with other people and, have these wonderful conversations. We can meditate. We can work on it, healing our soul, healing our psyche, expansion, growth. Personal growth. This is a perfect week for personal growth. March has the energy of the number 5. Freedom, expansion, change, doing things differently, not wanting to be tied down, keep moving forward, keep it on the move, restlessness, right? So it's interesting that we have all these planetary aspects, this astrological change that's going on. So it really kind of goes with March, right? Okay, let's go to your cards, shall we? Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your reading for February the 26th through March the 4th. And the first card that comes out for you, darling, is the Tower. Something's got to go. When it came up for me, I was thinking about, I thought about the way you think. I thought that's going to, this is a transformation. Something's going to go. And I feel that was the first thing I thought when it fell out, that it's not necessarily something's going to be physically taken away from you, but I feel that it's a change in how you are viewing things. And you've got the 10 of Spring, which is way too much going on for you. You've taken on far too many responsibilities and you've got to delegate. You see, the thing is when this card comes up, it's saying you've got to delegate. You know, you've got to drop some of that baggage. And if you don't, everything will kind of fall apart. This, you see, the Tower doesn't feel good, right? But the Tower comes in because something needs to go. And this definitely, you are just bogged down with so much stuff. You are being pulled in all different directions, Virgo. And you've got to recognize that. You've got to see your limitations and you've got to delegate. You've got to, you know, you can't keep saying yes when you really want to say no. I always say this is like the ultimate people-pleasing card. And when this comes up, you're saying yes, yes, yes. And sometimes this is a control issue too, Virgo. You know, wanting to do everything so perfect and it's all got to be, you know, done. It's being a perfectionist. And you know, you drop the ball when you take on too much and you've got that attitude. So you've got to drop some of it. It's real, and it's very important that you do that this week. Now, the next thing you've got is the Page of Pentacles. This is good news, the Page of Pentacles. This is like an opportunity that could come to you. Clarifying it, though, is the Queen of Winter, right? And look, this is about wonderful businesswoman. She's very astute. She's so intelligent. She sees through people. She knows people like the back of her hand. So she sees through people and she sees through the bull crap. You know, she knows what's viable and what's not. And she speaks her truth. She speaks her truth with brutal honesty. I know a couple of Virgos who do that too. I never take offense when a Virgo says something like that, except perhaps my sister, because she's, you know, installed some buttons that, you know, when she pushes, I can jump. But I try not to with that too. We can always usually end up laughing after a while. But this is about when she comes into a reading, it's saying, look, yes, speak your truth, definitely, but kindness and compassion, you know, be kind. Sometimes, you know, and don't be passive aggressive either, because that's not very kind. And people see through that. And more we're seeing that because, you know, we have this intuitive ability, right? That's really being enhanced at this time, especially Pisces. So intuitive and psychic and, you know, that flow of water. This is about going with the flow. It's going against your nature, right, Virgo? Because you are the opposite sign to Pisces. It's asking you to let a little Piscean energy come into play here, you know. This is about it's time to focus on your career. It's time to focus on the opportunities that are coming up. Don't be look, you're the social worker of the zodiac. Don't forget yourself. Don't be in service to everyone else to the detriment of yourself. And that's what I'm getting with this. It's definitely, now is the time to focus on your career and move forward with that. You know, drop some of the responsibilities that you have, delegate and move forward with that. Now, the next card that came up for you is the High Priest. This is like the Hierophant, the Pope. It's about faith. It's about connecting with the higher realm. This is, you know, I always say meditation, prayer and meditation. Praying is talking to God. Meditation is listening. This is connecting with source energy. This is also, you know, it can be like getting with like-minded people, you know. I mean, for some of you, that could be church. For others, it could be yoga or, you know, a retreat or people who believe the same as you, have the same kind of faith basis, whatever that is. It could be being here on YouTube and doing, you know, listening to tarot readers. That's another way of doing it. It's another belief system, isn't it? So now you got 3 cards came out for this, underneath this. And all swords, all intellect, which is you, the analytical brain, going over and over and over. It's so funny because that's what I got. I got the way of thinking. You've got to come out of your head, Virgo, definitely. Now, the first card that comes up is there is some pain, deep pain that you haven't looked at. And that's very typical of Virgos. They don't want to look at the pain. They want to help everyone else so they don't have to deal with their own pain. It's time. Look, when the High Priestess come up, he's giving you the keys to go in. Take a look at this. Just look at it. It's not that big a deal, Virgo. You know, look, this is a pain that can be eradicated and can be... It doesn't have to be that painful. You look at it, you take the pain in, cry, and release it, darling. Release it to the universe to be healed, you know. Release it to the High Priest, and the High Priest will take care of it. You know, this is, you know, it's time to look at this pain, Virgo. I know you don't want to. I know. And I know it's very difficult for you to be emotional because you see it as being weak or... but it is not. And you have a choice here, right? You've got this choice. There's clearly a choice here. And the indecision to look at this pain is really holding you back and blocking you. So this is about, look, you've got to really listen to this. This is a wonderful message. Let's get this pain out of the way, Virgo. Your indecision is keeping you in pain, and it's holding you back, and it's blocking you from living the life that you could live fully, a fully realized, wonderful, fulfilling life, because this is holding you back. And I have a feeling it's probably makes you a little harsh with people at times because you're not going in and looking at that pain. And then also you got that this is another intellect card. This is about the Five of Winter. This is the Five of Swords, basically. It's the Five of Winter. It's about, this is about letting go of people and situations. This is about releasing it. And this is definitely for you, releasing that pain. It's about moving on from it. And it's also because this will also, if you're not looking at this pain, you will have toxic people in your life. And this is telling you it's time to just walk away. Don't engage. This is a fight. You've been in a fight with someone or something, and it's time to let go and just release it. And I have a feeling it's an internal fight. It's an internal fight. It's so busy and so much effort goes into not looking at this pain with you. That you are exhausted. And this is time to move on, darling. It's time to look at the pain, take it into your heart, feel it, and then release it once and for all. This is it, Virgo, once and for all. Virgo, please take this beautiful guidance seriously. It's really important for you to do this, and you know, things will just fall apart with you if you don't. So it's really important. This is something that's very easily fixable. Okay, Virgo, thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. And I want to know how you did. Okay, let me know. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email Mary at liveinthesolution.com.